Good day, everyone. Tapos na tayo sa limits of a function. So, this time, itutuloy natin yung ating pangalawang discussion about naman sa continuity of a function. Alright? So, meron tayong iba't ibang paraan kung paano natin i-represent ang isang function. It could be by a table of values or pwede rin namang graph. Okay? So, this time, malaking tulong ang graph ah, para masabi natin kung ang ating bang function ay continuous or not continuous function, no? If the graph of a function has no gap or holes, okay, ilagyan natin ng highlight, has no gap or holes, no? Gap or holes, butas, or walang gap yung graph ng ating function, then masasabi natin na yung function na yun ay continuous. Pero kapag meron siyang gap or holes, ito ay discontinuous. So, yun yung mga i-consider natin. Titignan natin kapag gumamit tayo ng graph or tinignan natin yung graph ng isang function. Okay? In addition, para masabi natin na continuous yung isang ating function, kailangang masatisfied niya itong tatlo nating conditions para masabi natin na continuous siya. A function is said to be continuous at a point x is equal to a if all of the following conditions are satisfied, and that is according to Comandante 2008. Okay. Ano yung first condition natin? Sabi sa ating first condition, if f of x is defined, that is, exists at x is equal to a. A number exists if it is defined. Yes. Division by zero yields to undefined values. So, iiwasan ulit natin yung magkaroon ng zero sa ating denominator pag meron tayong rational na function. The same with the square root of negative numbers. Thus, these cases must be checked. So, yun yung una natin i-check na condition para masabi natin na continuous ang isang function. Next one is, the second condition is that if the limit of f of x as x approaches a exists, kapag nasatisfied natin yan, then of course, masasabi natin na continuous ang ating function. Kapag meron tayong nakuhang limit ng ating function. So, yun yung condition natin. Pero kapag walang nag-exist, does not exist yung ating limit, then hindi natin masasatisfy yung ating condition. And lastly, kung ang limit natin ng f of x as x approaches a ay equal lang naman siya sa ating f of c, meaning to say, dito na sa pangatlong condition, kung magkapareho yung ating nakuha dito sa first condition natin at saka sa second condition natin, let's say, nakuha natin na sagot dito sa number 1 condition natin ay 3, and then yung nakuha nating limit doon sa second condition natin ay 3 pa rin, then yung pangatlong condition natin ay masasatisfy natin na 3 is equal to 3. Okay? So, ganun lang yun. Mamaya mas i-elaborate natin tong tatlong conditions na ito para masasatisfied na kung masasatisfied ba natin tong tatlong ito para masabi natin continuous ang isang function, no? Medyo i-pause muna natin yung part na dito, yung tatlong condition na to. Then dito muna tayo sa ating iba't ibang klase na kapag hindi natin na-satisfy yung tatlong yon, meaning to say lang, hindi siya continuous, therefore the function is discontinuous. Okay? So, meron tayong iba't ibang klase ng discontinuity of a function. Una ay ang tinatawag natin na removable discontinuity. Ano itong removable discontinuity? A function is said to have a removable discontinuity at x is equal to a if syempre, yung limit natin ng f of x as x approaches a exists, and the limit of f of x as x approaches a is not equal to f of a. Meaning to say, hindi po pareho yung either because f of a is undefined or the value of f of a differs from the value of the limit. Let's say, eto, yung sinabi ko kanina dito, no? Sa ating tatlong conditions. So, we have removable discontinuity kung hindi, let's say, kapag hindi na natin na-satisfy yung ating third na condition. Kasi hindi na nag-equal yung ating limit ng function tsaka yung ating f of a or f of x. Kung removable discontinuity, meaning to say, yung nakuha natin sa first condition, let's say 4 ang nakuha natin sa first condition. And then sa second condition na nakuha natin na limit is 5, so hindi na sila magkapareho. Therefore, kapag ganyan na ang case na nakuha natin, dun sa tatlong condition, we have the so-called removable discontinuity. And pagdating naman sa kanyang graph class, ito ang kanyang magiging itsura. Lakihan ko lang. Ano ito ang giging itsura? Kaya siya tinawag na removable discontinuity kasi if mapapansin ninyo, meron tayong hole. Meron tayong butas dito, oh. Dito. Wag pala siyang i-fill. Ayan. Ito yung butas. No? Magkakaroon tayo ng butas. Kapag sa graph kasi madaling matrace kung continuous or not continuous yung ating function. Kasi kung sanang dire-diretso lang yan at wala tayong makikitang butas, di masabi natin continuous. Pero since kapag trinace natin yung graph natin at merong butas, meaning to say, we have a discontinuity function, discontinuous function. Magja-jump yung ballpen natin para ituloy lang doon sa kabilang function, sa kabilang graph na, no? So, yun yung natin. Sinabi natin kanina na dapat walang gap or walang hole doon sa graph natin para masabi natin siya as continuous or not continuous. Okay, second naman na klase ng ating discontinuity ay tinatawag natin na jump discontinuity. Why jump discontinuity? Kasi kung napapansin ninyo, itong example natin ng kanyang graph, kapag trinace natin yung graph niya, okay, magja-jump yung ating ballpen. Pak, huminto tayo doon, and then biglang lipat, buhat ng ballpen, jump, sabi niya jump, tuloy natin yung kanyang graph. Kaya siya tinawag na jump discontinuity. A function is said to have a jump discontinuity at x is equal to a if the limit of the f of x as x approaches a to the left side, as you can see, meron tayong parang negative sign doon. Ang tinutukoy niya dyan ay yung ating one-sided limit. Na kapag coming from the left side yung ating values, hindi siya equal doon sa values coming from, or yung ating one-sided limit na tinatawag from the right side for a, any positive integer. That is according to Comandante 2008. And yung this type of discontinuity can usually be found on piecewise functions. So, kung graph lang ang mga pagbabasehan natin, we can easily identify kung anong klaseng discontinuity yung tinatawag natin. Kapag may hole, that is removable discontinuity. Pero kapag disconnected yung graph natin, that is jump discontinuity. Kasi kung yung essence na susundan mo yung graph, then biglang stop, jump yung ballpen mo para ituloy lang, that is jump discontinuity. Isa pang klase ng discontinuity natin ay ang tinatawag natin na infinite discontinuity. Why tinawag naman siyang infinite discontinuity class? Kasi yung klase ng in this type of discontinuity exists if a function has one or more infinite limits. Many rational functions exhibit this type of behavior according to Malfood.com Mathematics and D. Okay, sa klase naman ng discontinuity na ito, as you can see, wala tayong makikitang whole or whole, 'di ba? Pero yung kanya kasing graph, magja-jump ka pa rin kasi hindi tuloy-tuloy, hindi konektado yung graph ng ating uh, function. So, infinite discontinuity naman ang tawag natin dito. Okay? So, now, para mas maintindihan natin yung ating pinagsasabi ngayong sa lesson natin ngayon, magkaroon tayo ng example. Okay, lipat tayo sa ating lipat tayo sa ating board. Magkaroon tayo ng example. Let's determine na kung continuous ba or not continuous yung ating function na given. Alright, so example 1 natin. Okay, example 1 natin is, let's try to identify whether the function f of x is equal to x squared plus 5x plus 6 is continuous. Kung continuous ba siya at x is equal to negative 1. So, i-justify natin yung ating solution at sagot dito. Okay? Sasabihin natin kung continuous or not kung ang x natin ay equal to 1. So, let's do the solution. So, check natin kung yung ating given na function will satisfy yung tatlong conditions natin kanina for continuity at the given point x is equal to negative 1. So, ano yung ating first na condition kanina, di ba? First condition natin is that f of x is defined. Tingnan natin kung yung f of x natin is defined, that is exists at x is equal to a. So, kopyahin natin yung ating function. Rewrite lang natin dito sa baba. F of x is equal to x squared plus 5x plus 6. And yung given natin is x is equal to negative 1. And that is given, right? Given yan. Yan yung given natin. So, next thing to do is, i-substitute natin yung ating given na x, which is negative 1. So, kapag sinubstitute natin yan, class, it will become like this. Negative 1 squared. Pag sinabing substitute, palitan lang lahat ng x. Lahat ng x na makikita dito sa ating given na function. Palitan mo lang yan ng, ano ba yung binigay niyang given is that negative 1. So, negative 1 squared plus 5 times negative 1 plus 6. Okay? After natin mag-substitute, syempre, i-simplify natin yung ating solution. So, f of negative 1 is equal to negative 1 squared is 1. Because negative times negative is positive. Pag diniretso nyo yan sa calculator, mayroong mga, dyan tayo nagkakamali eh. Lalo na pag hindi mo nilagyan ng parenthesis sa calculator, ang magiging sagot dyan sa calculator ay negative 1. Pero ang tamang sagot, kapag nag-squared tayo ng negative number, the answer should always be positive. Okay? So, 1 squared is 1 plus 5 times negative 1 is negative 5 plus 6. I-simplify pa natin siya kasi meron tayong parenthesis pa. So, positive times negative will give us negative 5 plus 6. Okay? So, simplify pa natin lalo para matapos na ang solution. 1 minus 5 is negative 4 plus 6 will give us 2. Okay? So, the obtain value of our f of x when x is equal to negative 1 is negative 2. So, since meron tayong nag-exist na value ng ating f of x, and that is 2, then yung ating first condition ay nasatisfied. So, lagyan natin ng check kasi nasatisfy natin yung first condition. Okay? Next. Okay, punta naman tayo sa ating pangalawang condition. Ano ba yung pangalawang condition natin? So, yung pangalawang condition natin, we will look for the limit. Kung merong nag-exist ba yung limit ng ating function when x is equal to a. Okay? So, ano ulit yung given natin? Nire-write ko lang dito. So, ito yung second condition natin. Nire-write ko lang yung ating given na f of x is equal to x squared plus 5x plus x. Okay? So, gaya nung ginagawa natin nung lesson natin sa limit laws or the theorems, no? I-apply lang natin siya dito para makuha natin yung limit ng ating function. Pwede namang direct substitution, pero syempre yung hinihingi niya ay limit. So, gagamitan natin ng limit laws. Okay? Hindi tayo mag-substitute dito. Limit laws ang gagamitin natin. So, we can apply the addition theorem dito, di ba? And then, pag-iwa-hiwalayin natin ito, ikakat natin siya into 3. So, rewrite natin siya as limit of x squared as x approaches. Sulat ko ng maayos. As x approaches, ano ba yung given natin na x? Di ba x is equal to negative 1. So, mag-approach siya sa negative 1 plus limit of 5x as x approaches negative 1 plus the limit of x as x approaches negative 1. Okay, meron ulit tayong power theorem dito. Meron tayong exponent. Therefore, simplify natin siya. Limit of x as x approaches negative 1, labas natin si squared, ayan, plus the limit of, mayroon tayong constant, so paghiwalay natin yung constant at saka yung variable, ilabas natin yung constant, limit of x as x approaches negative 1, plus, copy-paste lang natin to kasi hindi naman natin siya masisimplify para pantay pa rin sila. Limit of x, magiging limit of a constant yan mamaya. Ayan. So, simplify pa natin lalo itong ating paghahanap ng limit ng ating function. So, di ba dito sa ating una, the limit of x as x approaches c is c. Diba? Yun yung theorem natin. The limit of x as x approaches c is c. Ang c natin dito ay negative 1. So, that is negative 1 squared. Siyempre, wag natin kalimutan yung ating squared doon. Plus 5. Copy lang natin yung constant natin kasi by constant theorem, the limit of a constant is the constant itself. And then, limit of x as x approaches c is equal to c, therefore, ang limit naman natin dito is negative 1 pa rin. Plus, again, the limit of a constant is the constant itself. Kasi si 6 ay wala namang kasama na. Nag-iisa lang siyang constant. Therefore, 6 lang ilalagay natin dito. So, simplify pa natin yung ating sagot. Negative 1 squared is 1. 5 times negative 1 is negative 5 times positive will give us negative 5 plus 6. So, simplify natin. 1 plus 5 is negative 4 plus 6 will give us the answer 2. So, the limit of our function, rewrite ko lang siya. O, dito na. The limit, kapag sinulat natin yan, ano ko ba siya ilil? Dito. Palitan ko na rin yan. Para makita lang. Okay? So, the limit of the function x squared plus 5x minus 6 as x approaches negative 1 is equal to 2. So, this time naman sa ating second na condition, since meron tayong nag-exist na limit ng ating function, then of course, again, the second condition is satisfied. Lagyan natin ng malaking check. Okay? Next. Ngayon, meron pa tayong pangatlong condition. Ano ulit yung pangatlong condition natin? Nakalagay doon that the limit of the function as x approaches a, that is x, is equal to f of c, di ba? So, gagawin lang natin dito sa third condition, balikan natin, ano ba yung nakuha natin sa ating limit ng function? Ano ba yung nakuha nating limit? That is 2, right? So, 2 is equal to, ano ba yung nakuha natin sa first condition natin kanina? Sa first condition natin kanina, ang nakuha din natin ay 2. Therefore, 2 is equal to 2. So, kapag in-apply natin, kinuha lang natin yung nakuha nating mga values ng ating first and second condition. Now, they are equal. Masasabi natin na they are equal since these two values are equal. Then, yung ating third condition ay nasatisfied pa rin natin. Therefore, nasatisfy natin yung tatlo. First, saan na yun? First, second, and third condition ay nasatisfy natin. Then, we can say that the function f of x, we can say that the function f of x, x squared plus 5x plus 6 is continuous at x is equal to negative 1. So, ganun natin gagamitin yung ating tatlong condition. Okay? Dapat masatisfied silang tatlo para masabi nating continuous yung ating function. Okay. Since it's already 20 minutes, more than 20 minutes, so let's continue our discussion kung paano naman masasabing discontinuous gamit yung tatlong condition natin. Okay? So, I will separate the discussion again. So, see you!